What are types of polymorphism? Example of runtime and compile time polymorphism. First thing is, polymorphism is what? One face different acting. That is, one word or one function doing different work, performing different work depending upon the invocation or depending upon the calling or scenario. Polymorphism has come from two words, poly and morph. Poly means many, morph means the faces or shapes. So it can be of two types, compile time and runtime. Compile time is also called as the early binding. Runtime is also called the late binding. The compile time or polymorphism is implemented by function overloading and operator overloading. The late binding runtime is implemented through virtual functions. So I'll give an example of that. First of all, the compile time polymorphism we are taking. This is the example of function overloading. Now we have a class here. The class name is figure. We have declared and defined three functions here and they have the same name. This is very important. Same name. Inside main, we have created an object of this figure class which is called geo. Now this geo is invoking the function, but it is invoking same function, area. The names are same. But depending upon the input type, the parameter type, the object is calling different functions, and this is called the compile time or early binding. This is an example of function overloading. Depending upon the different situation, it is behaving differently. Function is. Now taking an example of runtime or late binding, this is virtual function. For this, we need inheritance. This can only be possible when you have an inheritance kind of situation. Okay. Inheritance is you have a base class. Now this base class has a function called print. Similarly, we have a derived function and the function has also print. But this derived class is derived from where? From the base class. That is, derived class is inheriting the base class. So we have a derived class and this derived class is inheriting the base. So this is a relationship. So derived is a base. Okay. Now both of them have a print function. Same function, nothing, no difference. Same function. Now when we create an object of this derived class, we pass a reference of this derived object to the base pointer, and from base pointer we are calling the print function. What should happen? To be very honest, it should call the derived class, the print function from what we see here. But the situation or the problem is it will not call the derived print function. There will be an error. That is, why we have done this ampersand derived? Because we have passed it to the base and then base is calling the print. So we have actually tried to call the derived function, the print function of the derived class, but this won't happen. For that, you need to do what? You want to force that whenever I do this, I want to call the print function of the derived class. Actually, it is coming from the base class. The base class is always giving that function from this kind of code. Okay. The solution is, what is the solution? The solution is, if we want to get the derived function, the same name, please remember the names are same. Then we have to write virtual.